Still growing tomatoes, 18th week update. Welcome to the 18th week Kentucky experimental garden update. The sunflowers are pretty much coming to their end. They grow, they bloom, and then they end. So 18 weeks it took to get mini mammoth sunflowers. Just throwing the seeds in the grass and seeing if they grow. And they do, just not as good. Out there, I'm not even gonna bother. That's the squash, pumpkin, and zucchini patch. And they're trying to grow, but the deer are just feasting on. Every time I get a flower, it's gone the next day. The deer keep coming through. So if you're gonna grow anything out in the dark in the middle of nowhere, you gotta protect it from the deer. Put some kind of fence over it. So the squash, zucchini, pumpkin, fail. Corn, fail. Just plant it in the grass and see what grows. But one thing to note, this whole field back here was all overgrown trees, tall grass, a lot of thorns, briar thorn, all over the place. You could barely walk through that field. So I've maintained this, I've cut it, I kept it low just to see what goes on out there. Well, now I know what goes on out there. It's a super highway for deer and turkey. Still burning up that cardboard, collecting the ash. These are the tomato and pepper rows that I grew. And the tomatoes are coming to an end. Not a whole lot going on this row here. But we do have some late tomatoes that are coming up. We'll see what happens with the late tomatoes. The peppers, nothing's gonna happen as long as you leave them in that tall grass and weeds. They're not gonna do their thing. Over here, we've got our tomatoes. We've been getting several cherries. I didn't cage, I didn't stake anything. Everything is just growing wild like a vine. And we are still getting some tomatoes off here. This one falls right off the vine. Look at that one. So we'll pick that one today. Purple beauties are just a weird looking tomato. Over here, this is what's doing really good now. They're not big, but we're getting these peppers. These are mini peppers, twister peppers, and then other varieties of bell peppers, California wonders. They're all doing pretty good in there. And back here in the weeds, them plants are just kind of giving up. But the pepper rows are doing very well. After I put up this fence to keep the rabbits out, rabbits were my problem here. But I'm gonna have to come in here, and these peppers are ready to be picked. So that's about it for the 18th week update. Not a whole lot going on. What's left is what's here, and that is it. And we got that row there. So I don't think I'm gonna have to save any more of this water, since I'm not really watering anything. What I'll do with these containers, I will cut the bottoms off, and they will be used for mini greenhouses next year. So I'm not just gonna save a bunch of empty bottles. I'm gonna turn them into greenhouses. cut the bottom off, you take the cap off, put the cap on if you're gonna freeze. But it helps things grow outside. Repurpose everything. Hi, Bear. What you doing, Bear? Thanks for watching the 18th week update.